Sam Altman says AI will handle 95% of marketing work done by agencies and creatives. When people are saying that AI can never replace marketers, I think they haven't dug into AI's full capabilities. They haven't fully gone down the rabbit hole and seen what AI is capable of. So like AI can basically take your execution from like the speed limit in a school zone to light speed, but you need to know what direction to tell it to go to. I do think AI is going to replace some marketing jobs, and it's at least going to change them. After going down the rabbit hole, I have gotten AI to do some things that are pretty incredible. There's been a heated debate on LinkedIn and Twitter about whether AI is going to be replacing marketing jobs. I wanted to dive into some of the posts and give a little bit of a nuanced take on what I think is going to happen with regards to marketing and AI jobs. So here's a post by Kieran Flanagan, CMO of Zapier. He is quoting Sam Altman, the founder and CEO of OpenAI. And Sam Altman says, AI will handle 95% of marketing work done by agencies and creatives. And this post absolutely blew up, a ton of likes and a really heated commentary and conversation going on in the comments. And Kieran says, there's a future where entire agencies are replaced by AI agents fine-tuned on specific tasks. If I were offering marketing services, I'd spend nearly all my time fine-tuning AI agents to complement my current offerings. It's the best way to future-proof your business. Now, not everybody agreed. There was some heated debate in the comments. I'll give you my take soon, but there was a counter argument from Rand Fishkin here, previously founder of Moz, now co-founder of Sparktoro, one of the all-time great marketers, especially in the content space and also in the SEO space as well. And so he chimes in with the opposite side of the argument. He says, bold prediction. I don't think AI/LLMs are coming for your job. In fact, I'm willing to bet $5,000 in a charitable donation that in 5 years, less than 10% of all information economy jobs and less than 5% of marketing jobs are displaced by AIs. So two incredibly smart people, very marketing savvy people, pretty opposite reactions going on here. So why the disparity? So I'll give you my take, and it's a little bit of a nuanced take, and giving nuance on the internet or anywhere for that matter is always a little bit risky, but let me give you my take. When I first started using AI, I thought, no way is this coming for anybody's job, certainly not marketer's job, because marketing requires a fair bit of creativity. You have to do a lot of thinking. It's not just calculation or automation. You have to actually create something new, do something creative. And so, when I was first using ChatGPT and other AI tools, I'm just thinking, no way is this replacing any jobs. Like go into ChatGPT, open up a ChatGPT window, ask it to write some content for me, write a few tweets or what have you. And I'm like, this is just awful. Like the content is generic. It's just not giving me any new information, no unique point of views. And it's really poorly written. And so the content is just like robotic. And obviously that's not going to work for you in the modern day age. Doing robotic content hasn't worked for years, frankly. Like now everybody's just realizing it because of AI, because there's a bunch of AI content out there in the world. I think most people don't see it because the algorithms are designed to filter it out. But we're now all realizing that any strategy that revolves around putting out massive amounts of generic content is just not sustainable. It's not going to work for you. But that's nothing new. Like that has been the case for years, especially in the B2B world. Like you need to be doing something unique and differentiated, and it needs to be a little bit authentic. It needs to be your own style, not just some robotic style. So I think when people are saying that AI can never replace marketers, I think they haven't dug into AI's full capabilities. They haven't fully gone down the rabbit hole and seen what AI is capable of. So what happens is people kind of do like what I did, which is let me check out AI, let me check out ChatGPT, try to make something with it off the shelf without using any of the extra capabilities or giving it the substance and style instructions that it needs. And you're like, okay, this is garbage. And then you don't use AI, and then you don't go down the rabbit hole, and then you don't find out what AI is capable of. And so it kind of creates this downward spiral where you don't think AI is going to do anything meaningful, so you don't use AI, so then you don't learn about what AI is fully capable of. And so I think that's what a lot of people fall into. For me, I was in that exact mode about a year ago, like I said, but I was still excited about the promise of AI. And so I just kept experimenting, like hundreds of hours, just trying to see how I could make this work. And so I went down the rabbit hole, and now I've seen what AI is fully capable of. So the first thing I want to do to get this conversation started is distinguish between robotic AI content and fresh AI content. So I think people lump AI content into just one big basket, and there's really some important distinctions to be made. So you can use AI to make generic content, or you can use AI to use fresh content. And the problem is most people have only used AI to make generic content. And that obviously is not a viable strategy. Now, fresh AI content incorporates your unique points of view, your unique insights, your original opinions. It's not just regurgitating other people's opinions, and your unique writing style. And AI is capable of doing that. And that's a lot of what I'm covering on this YouTube channel, Content Engineering Lab, is how to get AI to incorporate your unique points of view, your stories, and your writing style, which is really key. But it's important to have that distinction. Robotic AI content does not work, definitely not replacing anybody's job. And then fresh AI content. And in the case of fresh AI content, that is something that I do actually think has the possibility to replace some jobs. After going down the rabbit hole, I have gotten AI to do some things that are pretty incredible. So I've been a content marketer. I've been in marketing with a focus on content marketing for over 10 years now. And I've done a ton of writing. I would consider myself a pretty good writer. I'm not going to claim to be the best writer in the world, but I have definitely gotten AI to write stuff that is better than I'm capable of writing. And I have not done that through the ChatGPT window. I've done that by getting it to incorporate my unique insights and giving it instructions on what to write and how to write. So Rand says, raw AI isn't catching on. Definitely agree with him on that. You do not want raw AI content. You want to be incorporating your unique insights and points of view and writing style, and you want to be doing some editing as well. But I think he's slightly off here. So he says, if LLMs wrote and created things more compelling than the top 20% of writers/creators, I'd be more worried. So I don't think that's the issue. I think the issue is that AI can enable people to do things that they previously had to rely on marketing for. So for example, a ghostwriting agency, so if a founder wants to do founder-led content, founder brand content on LinkedIn, they might need to get a ghostwriting agency or have somebody in-house to do it. And like an agency, a good agency is going to cost between $5,000 and $10,000, depending on what they want to do. But I think AI is getting to the point where a lot of that can be done at a much lower cost. So maybe you need like junior to mid-level marketing generalist who knows how to use AI, and it can be a lot cheaper. So it's not really about creating more things more compelling than the top 20% of writers creators. It's about enabling people who have unique things to say, unique insights and points of view and real accomplishments and experiences to be able to create content that's even better than before, and to do it at a much lower cost and much faster than before. So it's two separate things. And then he says, if it was going to happen, it'd be happening. I don't necessarily understand the logic here. Again, love Rand and all of his work, but I think things just take time. I think Netflix didn't replace Blockbuster immediately. It took time for Netflix to grow, and the LLMs are improving. But also, I am seeing AI replace marketing jobs already, just anecdotally on a small scale. I'm not saying this is like happening at a meaningful level on a broad scale, but I have definitely talked to people who, marketers at companies who, had to lay people off during 2023, very tough year. Now there's like one or two marketers when there used to be five. And the marketer is being asked to do the same amount of work and achieve higher goals, more ambitious goals. And so they're already using AI. So, I'm already seeing it happen on a small scale. My prediction is that two things are going to happen in parallel. First off, the human developers at OpenAI and other AI companies are going to make those tools better and make the content outputs of those tools better. So the quality is going to improve. But my prediction is that at the same time, AI will actually change the nature of what people want from content. So we'll start reading in different ways and preferring writing in different ways because of AI. So again, it's like, it's not that we're going to want to read the stuff, the generic stuff that ChatGPT will put it out that way. But as it gets better, then that's when it will actually start changing what humans want from content. So I think that's another important distinction, is like what AI can do and what AI can't do. So AI is very good at executing. As of right now, it's very good at executing. It's not very good at the strategy piece and the original ideas piece. And that might change. And that's a whole nother distinction, is like what AI can do now versus what AI will be able to do in the future. And that is like changing at a rapid rate every single day. But, going back to what AI is capable of now and what AI is not capable of right now, it's not really capable of strategy and decision making. So it can do what you tell it to do as long as you know what to tell it to do. So I think like strategy roles, the CMO role is not disappearing. It's certainly not by ChatGPT or by AI in its current incarnation. Now, it could in the future. Honestly, I mean, we don't know like where this thing is going. Like this, I really think this is like an exponential innovation, and it's on like a sort of a parabolic rise. It's not just like a linear stair-step improvement. This is like a rapid, increase in innovation, and we still don't really know what's fully possible, which is kind of scary, but also kind of exciting. So again, the point here is like you definitely still need humans to generate strategy and to tell the AI like what you want. So for example, if you want to develop your marketing strategy, marketing strategy is something like, things like, are you creating a new category or are you an existing category? What channels, where do your buyers go to find products and services like yours? What channels do you need to be marketing on? What should your messaging be like? All sorts of big strategic decisions that I would not rely on AI for. Now, you can definitely go into AI and help you like think through those things and maybe give you some information and learn about what some other companies are doing. It can definitely help you with that process, but as of right now, it can't really get you there. So let's say, you're a marketer and you say, okay, I think we should be on LinkedIn, and I think we should be publishing content under our founder's personal profile. And I think that our founder should be, helping us to evangelize this new category of product or service that we're creating and help educate people about the problem that we're solving that they may not be aware that we're solving, and start persuading about our solution to that problem and why it's the best, and start like creating net new demand. So that's like a marketing strategy question that I wouldn't rely on AI for. But once you have that strategy in place and you know what a good piece of content looks like that can help you achieve that goal, AI can really execute that really well as long as you're giving it the right instructions and the right substance to work with. So again, you need to be getting AI to add, in this case, your founder's like unique points of view on the market and the problem that it's solving and opinion about why it's valuable. You can't rely on AI to do that. But from there, AI can really execute. And to be frank with you, like I'm a little bit concerned about those kinds of jobs being stable, the jobs that are just pure execution. And over time, I wouldn't be surprised if even some of the strategic roles. One of the reasons why Rand Fishkin thinks that AI will not replace jobs, he says that it's historically aligned. So he says computer spreadsheets and word processors barely affected job-wise the industries they revolutionized. So I just think AI is fundamentally different than spreadsheets. I think spreadsheets made it easier and faster to calculate things, but AI actually generates new things. So it does have creative capabilities. Not a ton yet, but it does have some, and over time it'll get even better. So I just think Excel spreadsheets were more of like a linear stair-step improvement with a clear ROI, but not a fundamentally different experience. Whereas I think that AI is more of an exponential increase in innovation that is just still at the bottom portion of a parabolic uptrend in innovation. We still don't really know what's possible. So I don't think, spreadsheets didn't replace accountants. It made accountants better, but this is a lot different than spreadsheets, for better or for worse. So spreadsheets didn't necessarily replace accounting jobs, but TurboTax almost definitely did. So there are almost definitely people who use TurboTax instead of using an accountant, where they would have had to get an accountant before. Now, no Fortune 500 companies are using TurboTax instead of a big accounting firm, but there are a lot of individuals and small businesses who are using tools like TurboTax instead of an accountant. So with the accounting example, my hope is that people are using TurboTax instead of doing it on their own. And similar with marketing, I'm hoping that people use humans with AI instead of doing less marketing or no marketing whatsoever. So I'm hoping that it enables new companies to start doing marketing and actually increases the size of the pie. So Rand also says, in almost every case of supposed industry upheaval, more jobs are created than lost. I definitely agree with him on that. AI is better for the 1 to N type marketing work and startup work as opposed to the 0 to 1 type marketing and startup work. So 0 to 1 work is like, let's see if this channel can work for us and let's figure out how to make it work for us and then create a playbook that is repeatable so that the 1 to N team can take it off. So you have like, there's different stages of a startup. Like 0 to 1 is like finding product market fit, finding repeatable marketing acquisition channels, profitable channels. And then 1 to N is like scaling and making it more efficient. And so I think right now AI is better for the 1 to N. So like once you know what to do, it can do a lot of it and do it really well and do it extremely efficiently. But you need to know what to have it to do first. So like AI can basically take your execution from like the speed limit in a school zone to light speed, but you need to know what direction to tell it to go to. So basically you still need humans to figure out where to put AI because you don't want to be sending AI really fast in the wrong direction because that's not going to do you any good whatsoever. So I'll just give you an example, like take Morning Brew, like a content, it's a media business, not like a B2B company, but they do media, B2B media now, but more B2C initially, but content. So what they did is the founders from 0 to 1, they figured out an insight, which is that college students, or I think it was like business school students, had a need to prepare for their job interviews. They need to know what's going on in the business world, business news, but what the current ways of doing things, which is like Wall Street Journal and other sources, were too boring. So they created a more engaging, better written news site in Morning Brew. It had this like cool tone and like snarky tone and fun tone of voice. And they found a really great market need for it. And they found initial customer acquisition channels for it. And then now they're more in scaling mode and how can we make that more efficient, more profitable, reach more and more people. And that's the 1 to N mode. And that's the mode where I think AI can be really effective. Like once you know, hey, we're going to do a newsletter and it's going to contain this type of content and it's going to be written in this tone and style, AI can execute on that. And again, this is all predicated on for now. So we don't know how good and how powerful the LLMs and the AI tools are going to get over time, but that's where we're at for now. AI in marketing in itself is in the 0 to 1 phase. It's kind of meta, but nobody really knows how to use AI for marketing yet. Like there's a bunch of us figuring it out. I'm trying to be ahead of the curve and figure it out, but no one really has all the answers. Like we're all just kind of figuring it out. And that's what's exciting. So it's a really exciting time to be in AI for marketing. We're all learning. Let's all do it together. Another quick take on like marketing skills and future-proofing your career as a marketer is I think there's a value in like figuring out what's next. So, going back to the Morning Brew example, they figured out that, snarky, short, snappy business news was a need. As a marketer, I think you want to be figuring out what's next. So there's a lot of like formulaic content. There's some things that right now that like we just know works, and then a bunch of companies will start doing it and then it stops working. For example, like there are set formulas and frameworks you can use to, for example, go viral on Twitter if you wanted to. There's like templates you can use and they are proven to work, but eventually they stop working. And so I think as a marketer, you want to be the one figuring out what's going to work next. So is it like more authentic video content? Who knows? Is it a new channel? What's the next thing that people are going to want that they don't know that they want? Because once it's proven to work and everybody knows how to do it, then AI can basically just like take that from, again, 1 to N, 1 to infinity. So you want to be the one figuring out the things that work in the first place. But is AI going to replace jobs? It's like the age-old debate about like innovation and technology is basically, is this positive sum or is this zero sum? Like for every job that technology replaces is another job created, or is maybe an exponential number of jobs created, or you can get pretty philosophical around like, is it going to increase our quality of life and lower our cost of goods, so therefore we don't need to make as much money? That's a little bit far out there. But my point with this is really that I think AI is going to end up creating a whole lot of jobs and changing the nature of the marketing job. And as far as like creating new jobs, I think a couple of jobs that I think will be created. One is the content engineer, which instead of just a content marketer or a content creator or content writer, the content engineer is someone who takes business strategy, and marketing goals and customer insights and is able to translate that into content that performs extremely well using AI. So the content engineer is basically able to become like a 10x performer because they're using AI. So they're still using their judgment about what's going to make good content, and they're just using AI to help them execute. The other job that I think is going to be created is, we're calling it AI operations. So if you think about it now, like a tool like Salesforce, like obviously Salesforce is like an extremely powerful CRM, tremendous. I don't have to tell you about the benefits of Salesforce CRM. Like almost every, B2B SaaS company is going to be using Salesforce or HubSpot. But to get started on Salesforce, you basically need an agency or at least an individual to help you get set up. And this is like a sales operations person or team, or marketing operations person or team. And if they're good, they're actually going to help you like design your process, design your sales and marketing process, design your attribution and reporting process. And so there's much more to it than just like the technical execution of getting set up. So I think AI operations teams or people are going to work cross-functionally and help teams throughout the organization, including marketing, to get AI set up and then to use it effectively. And I think the really good ones will be able to just start with a problem and then go in and find an AI solution rather than just helping teams like execute on solutions. So they'll be able to go in and take something and hear from a team and say, hey, this is something that we do all the time. It takes up a tremendous amount of our time. How can we solve it? And so just starting with like an open-ended problem like that, I think a really good AI ops person can then go in and solve it. Or team might say, here's something that we really want to do, but we haven't been able to do it because we're so busy with all this other stuff. How can we use AI to enable us to actually start doing this new thing that could be really high leverage that we weren't able to do before? And so I think AI operations will be created. And then, there's just other parts of marketing that will become more valuable and that AI can't do yet. So some other parts of, even just from content marketing, I think distribution is extremely important, and I don't think AI can do that yet. Distribution, often a lot of it ends up coming down to like just networking, and that's not something you can really have AI do. So I could definitely see content distribution being a full-time job in the near future, and especially as like content gets flooded on the market, like being able to get distribution for it will be more important. Customer insights are extremely important, not just for marketing, but for all parts of the organization. And that's, again, something that AI can't really give you. Like if you're relying on insights that ChatGPT already has, I don't think those insights are valuable. But if you're getting new and unique insights, that is definitely valuable. And that's a competitive advantage for you. So you can use AI to help you get those insights, but you don't want to rely on the insights that ChatGPT already has, because then your competitors have that and there's really no gain. So I think those customer insights become even more important in the AI age. And I could see that being full-time job. It is a full-time job at a lot of big companies. I could see more like SaaS companies, SaaS startups, having that be a full-time job. So my point being here is I think the nature of marketing jobs is going to change and that new jobs are going to be created. My hope is that companies don't just say, all right, I'm going to get AI to do this instead of a human. My hope is that the amount of demand for marketing increases. So right now, marketing is actually pretty expensive. The cost of software development has gone down. The cost of getting distribution has gone up. And so there's a lot of companies that can't do meaningful amounts of marketing right now. For example, a small business that hasn't raised tens of millions of venture capital can't necessarily afford to hire an agency. They can't necessarily afford to hire an in-house team. Maybe they can hire like one junior to mid-level person, but they can't hire, a senior person and then, a junior person or mid-level person to execute. But I think my hope is with AI that there is net new demand for marketing services, and specifically for humans who are using AI. So now, that small business can do marketing because they hire, maybe they hire like one or two in-house people or a fractional consultant, and then they use AI to do the work that a full-time marketing team can do. I hope it like creates net new opportunities. And then there's other like second and third order effects that again get kind of philosophical around like, if the cost of if AI enables the cost of starting a company to go way down, or if it enables all these new like startup ideas, then all these new companies are going to need marketing. So I think there could be net new demand for marketing created, and that could really offset the whatever AI does to replace jobs. So there are two competing persuasion strategies going on here on both sides of this debate. There is the most common narrative I'm seeing, which is that AI is not going to replace marketing jobs. Rather, it's going to enable marketers to be much more efficient and effective. And I definitely think there's some truth to that. But the persuasion here, why this is an effective narrative, is because it doesn't trigger any cognitive dissonance. It's more of a feel-good approach that doesn't cause too much stress. On the other hand of the debate, you have people saying that AI is going to replace marketing jobs. And the reason why that's persuasive is because it's scary, and fear is one of the most powerful persuasion strategies. And so you're probably wondering, like, am I biased here? Because I have a YouTube channel about content engineering, about using AI for content marketing. I'm building software and custom GPTs that help marketers to create content with AI. So am I biased? Am I trying to, create fear, as a way to market my stuff? And the answer is no. And I hope you'll believe me on that. So really the reason why I'm doing videos about AI for content and software and building tools is because I sort of saw the writing on the wall. I was like, well, no one can really predict the future, but there is a very real possibility that this ends up replacing or at least changing a lot of marketing jobs. And regardless if it replaces or if people are just going to hire marketers that use AI, I want to be one of those people. You know what I mean? So I wanted to be on the cutting edge of AI under the very real possible scenario that it does completely change the game. And so that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. And I'm not going to use fear, saying AI is coming for your jobs. It would not be good marketing. It would not be good persuasion in this context. So there's other contexts where you can use fear like that, such as politics. It's almost all fear, and that's like just part of the game, and it's appropriate there. But I think using fear in this context, to that degree would not be good marketing. So I'm definitely not using that. I'm coming at this from the angle of, let me help marketers to be more effective. And that's really what it is now. Let's be real. Like the LLMs and the AI apps, they're not taking anybody's jobs anytime soon. Like they're not good enough, really. Like they're not really good enough. Like you can get them to be very, very good, but they're still going to need human interaction. Like you're still going to have to edit. You're going to still have to tell it what to do. So they're not there yet. I personally think that they're going to keep getting better and better. Like they do keep getting better and better. And then we're going to have GPT-5 and who knows what's like coming after that. And there's other LLMs. So like the rate of innovation in this space is insane. But as of right now, it's just simply not there. But I want to be ahead of the curve. I want to start learning now. I want to be one of the AI-powered marketers who can achieve 10x or 100x output. So that's why I'm getting a big head start, and then I'll be able to adapt to any changes. So to sum it up, I think that it's not as politically correct to say, but I do think AI is going to replace some marketing jobs, and it's at least going to change them. Certainly in this short term, it's going to change them. And for me, I want to be on the cutting edge. I want to be one of the marketers who's using AI to be 10 times more effective. At the very least, no one can predict the future. No one really knows what exactly is going to happen, but it's worth preparing for a variety of scenarios. And so that's what I'm doing. And that's what I'm trying to help people do is prepare for that scenario and, learn about how to use AI and build tools to help people use AI.